Hi everyone, my name's Scott. Welcome to Planes, Trains, Everything, and welcome to Land's End in the southwest corner of England. Today I'm doing something a bit crazy. I'm travelling by bus and coach all the way to Groats in the northeast corner of Scotland. What kind of an idiot would do that? Welcome to my channel. Now, according to this fingerboard here, the distance as the crow flies between Land's End and Groats is, and I've written this down on my wrist, 874 miles. But I'm not a crow, I'm travelling by bus, and that's going to be about 965 miles or 1,550 kilometres. It'll take 53 hours approximately, 2 nights, 3 days, not much sleep and lots of coffee. So let's get going. Well, that's the famous finger post here at Land's End. Let's go to Groats. There's a bus in about an hour's time, and that will take me to Penzance, where I have a very leisurely connection. And when I get to Penzance, I'll explain why it's leisurely. I've been to Land's End before, and I've been to Groats before, but I've never actually travelled between the two. So this is a first for me. Like I said, it's crazy, so let's do it. Unless things have changed, I don't think we're going to find this at Groats. That's me. Right, are you ready? This is where things get serious. Not overly serious, because it's almost like a tourist bus that goes from Land's End to Penzance. Then things get serious. I'm just going for a walk along here to see if I can get to the beach. A funny thing happened at Land's End, and this is just typical of me. People ask me for information and whatever. I'm waiting for the 2:28 p.m. bus to Penzance, where I am now. At 2 p.m. a bus turned up and I didn't go for it. Quite a few people did. And I don't know how the conversation went on board, but they all got off again. And they were looking very confused. And one guy said to me, "Where are you going to?" And I said, "Penzance." And he said, "Well, according to the timetable, that's a bus to Penzance." And I had to explain, yeah, on the peninsula there are 2 services. One that goes clockwise, one that goes anti-clockwise. The 2 p.m. was a clockwise service, and it takes 2 hours 45 minutes to get to Penzance. If you wait for the anti-clockwise service, it only takes an hour, and that was the 2:28. And he thought, right, well, they should explain that on the timetable. I said, yeah, it threw me as well. And obviously someone else heard the conversation, came over and asked me for more information. And then someone else came over and asked for more information as well. And I thought, I should start charging for this. Yeah, but I'm a walking tourist information office. Right, I was hoping to get to the beach down here, because I do have time to kill. And the reason why I have time to kill is because I do. On this epic quest to get from Land's End to Groats, there are 6 coaches and buses. Some of the connections are quite leisurely, and some are quite tight. The tightest, I think, is at Inverness, and it's about 17 minutes. The more leisurely one is here at Penzance. I've got about 5-6 hours. And the reason for that is because coach companies don't plan their timetables so people like me can go from Land's End to Groats, one bus after another after another. So there are really quite big gaps sometimes. Yeah, I've got time to kill because I'm waiting for the 2200 service to Birmingham, the overnight service. And you might be thinking, well, why don't I catch an earlier service? There are daylight services to London. Yes, there are. But if you're going from Land's End to John O'Groats, you don't go via London. You do the shorter journey, which is through Penzance, Bristol, Birmingham area, Manchester, Glasgow, Inverness, up that way. You don't go via London. Just a quick shout out to the sponsor of today's video, Surfshark. I've been using Surfshark for a year now and I can honestly recommend them as a great VPN. A VPN is a virtual private network, which encrypts all of the data between my devices and the internet. Free Wi-Fi, such as the Wi-Fi I'm getting here at my hotel, is great, but it does come with a risk. Shared Wi-Fi is the easiest way for someone to access and steal your personal data. One thing I absolutely love about Surfshark is the fact that you can change your IP address. If you try to access foreign television, for example, you may get error messages like these. For example, from Austria, from Germany, from Italy, from Sweden, from New Zealand, and from the United States, for example. And if you're overseas and you try to access BBC iPlayer, you will also get an error message reminding you you're not in Blighty. By simply changing your IP address to a foreign one, you'll be able to access a whole world of online content from Albania to Vietnam and everywhere in between. If you don't have a VPN, I would strongly recommend Surfshark. Not only do they keep you safe, but one account covers unlimited devices. They also have a 30-day money-back guarantee, so if you're not completely satisfied, you get your money back. So to get started, just use my code, click the link in the description below. Thanks very much Surfshark for keeping me safe when I'm on the road. With the time I've got in Penzance, there's one thing I really wanted to see, and it's this. These are semi-tropical gardens, and they look amazing. This is actually quite impressive. If you've been watching my channel for some time, you may remember this hack, but I'll mention it anyway. On National Express overnight services, you sometimes get seat 2A. Now I've booked 2A tonight between Penzance and Birmingham. Next to me I've got an aisle seat, which is 2B. What would you expect to find in front of those two seats? 1A and 1B? No. You get one seat only, and that's used for passengers with mobility issues. And that tends to be located in front of 2B, the aisle seat, which means that 2A has almost unlimited legroom. Shh, don't tell anyone else. So that's the good news tonight. The bad news is, of all the seats which someone will try and nick, it is 2A. I remember once I got on a coach, and I think it might have been Glasgow Buchanan bus station. I was like the 5th passenger to get on board, and even by then someone had tried to nick it. He was shifted. In all fairness, the drivers are actually very good at moving people. They're very proactive, and they do check, do you actually have a reservation for 2A, which I do. It makes the overnight journey just that little bit more pleasurable. I'm just sitting in this park wasting a bit of time because, let's face it, there's only so many attractions you can look at in Penzance. I was here last night. I stayed here overnight before I went to Land's End this morning to start this epic video, and I stayed at a hotel just up there, the Queen's Hotel, which was okay. While I was wandering around in the evening, I found a pub and they did fish and chips and beer, and I thought, ooh, yeah. So tonight's the night. I think I'm going to be having fish and chips and beer. The thing is, it's 20 minutes to 5, it doesn't open till 6. but I'll let you know when it's 6 p.m. because I'll be at the front door. I just had to film that as I was going past because that was our bus from Land's End. So this is the pub I spotted last night when I went for a stroll, the Admiral Benbow. It has gone 6 o'clock. I'm going in there for fish and chips and a pint. When it comes to atmosphere, this is the right place. That was amazing. The fish in particular, so fresh it just broke apart when you tried to stick a fork in it. I wish I had a local pub like that one, that's for sure. Next time I'm in Penzance, that's where I'll be going. Right, let's just wander around and waste some time. Well, this is very pleasant. 25 minute walk out of Penzance. A nice beach. St Michael's Mount over there. I better get back. Okie dokie, I'm going to walk over to the bus station now. There is actually a National Express coach sitting there. It's been there for over an hour with the lights off. I've got a feeling that's our bus. This service to Birmingham overnight has 21 scheduled stops along the way. I doubt it's going to stop at all of them, but there's 21 potential stops. Wish me luck. This looks like our coach arriving now. It's 3 AM and we're here in Exeter. This is Exeter Services and it's your usual Costa, your Greggs, your M&S food and lots of trucks. We're here for 45 minutes. The first hour and a half to 2 hours of that journey were rough. Because we were visiting a lot of small towns in Cornwall and Devon, we're using a few local roads, lots of roundabouts, winding, curving roads. I don't suffer from travel sickness, but I was feeling a bit queasy at one point. So I'm just standing out in the way here. So anyway, I'm getting some fresh air. It's actually quite mild here. And then we're actually about halfway to Birmingham. Welcome to Birmingham. That was a pretty rough night. The nature of the road between Penzance and Exeter means that you don't sleep, and the second driver who joined at Bristol talked to a passenger, an ex-National Express driver actually, from Bristol through Cheltenham all the way to Birmingham. So sleeping wasn't possible. I'll tell you what, I'm cold. I'm really cold. Right, so it's going 8:05 actually. The first bus out of Birmingham to Glasgow is also National Express. That's 1:20 so I've got 5 hours to kill. I'm going to go into the station where it's a little bit warmer, and then in about an hour's time I might be ready for breakfast. Well, that coffee I had sort of did the job. Didn't get me up to cruising altitude, but it got me up to about 15,000 feet, which is good enough. I don't want to drink too much coffee, because you know what happens when you drink a lot of coffee, then you go onto a long distance coach service. You have to use the toilet, and I hate using toilets on coaches. Yeah, I noticed as well when I came off the bus and spoke to you then, I was shaking uncontrollably. I was so cold. When I was at school, I was top of the class in biology. And when I subject myself to these kind of challenges, I always like to see what the body undergoes. And apparently this is because when you're deprived of sleep, your system's out of whack and your metabolism slows down. And when your metabolism slows down, it burns off less calories, it generates less heat, and so you feel the cold. All amazing stuff. Right, I have got about an hour to kill. Then I'm on bus number 3, which is National Express up to Glasgow. Oh, and worth mentioning, when I booked this online, either I skipped through it or it didn't offer me advanced seat selection. So I don't have a confirmed seat. So I'm hoping I don't have to ask people to move jackets and bags off the second seat. You know what people are like. They like to have 2 seats, but they only want to buy 1 ticket. We'll find out in about an hour's time. Welcome to T-Bay Services. We're in the Lakes District somewhere, that's all I can tell you. One thing I like about National Express, they do give you nice long breaks. We're here now for 35 minutes, you can do what you like, as long as you're back by, let's say, 5:05, otherwise the driver said he will leave without us. Let's go for a walk. I'm going to get some coffee.
No, this one is in the sea. Oh, I think it's what happened. Oh, your back. So this one.
Vila, couple India and Gem channels.
And I've made it to a rather wet Glasgow. The time is 8 PM and I have a decision to make. The next coach up to Inverness leaves tomorrow morning 6:55 AM. Now I could either stay here in Glasgow. The cheapest hotels I could find are the Easy Hotel at £66, the Abode at 76, Novotel at 80, or the Millennium at 89, or Considering I live at Paisley, that's only 7 miles down the road. I could go there tonight, sleep in my own bed tonight, yes, have breakfast, set the alarm, and be here for the 6:55 departure tomorrow morning. That is a no-brainer. Right, I'll see you in the morning. And here we are at the Buchanan bus station in Glasgow. It's 6:25 in the morning, and the next bus, number 4 out of 6, leaves at 6:55 for Inverness. CityLink. At Inverness, I'm connecting on to a stagecoach service to Thurso. Now I've got 15 minutes connection there. I'm not worried about CityLink's timekeeping, it's pretty good, but I won't have too much time to dilly-dally. I won't have time to get a coffee. I might have time for a coffee, but then I've got a 3.5 hour journey up to Thurso, so it's going to be a long, long day. So I'll see you on the way. And here we are in Inverness. Remember I told you that CityLink's on-time performance was always pretty good? We arrived 5 minutes early. And I'm thinking of maybe going to get a coffee because I could do with one. I have got 20 minutes. What could possibly go wrong? I'm doing well today. 3 people have recognised me. 1 person at Paisley Gilmore Street Station, 1 at Buchanan bus station in Glasgow, and a young lad here on a scooter at Inverness. Cheers. It's amazing what a coffee can do. Get you up to cruising altitude just when you need it. 3.5 hours, we'll be in Thurso. we're running 20 minutes late. Welcome to the bustling town of Thurso. That was some journey, 3.5 hours of, yep, very windy roads. It was hard going as a passenger. It must have been just as hard for a driver. We arrived 20 minutes late because of roadworks along the A9. I've been to Thurso once before in my life, and that was in 1986. I came by train from Inverness up to Thurso and caught the first bus out of town to John O'Groats. And I didn't actually see anything of the town. This time I'm here for about 2.25 hours, and I think that should be more than plenty of time to see the sights of Thurso and to get something to eat, because I am starving. But there are two things in town I want to see. I was going to loiter here for a little while, but obviously the sign says no loitering. I wanted to see this station. The most northerly station in the United Kingdom. I was just looking to see when the next train was. It's not for another 2 hours. The trains between Inverness and Wick and Thurso are not known for their speed. They kind of follow a very winding route up to the north of Scotland, whereas the bus uses the A9 and it's a lot more direct, a lot more faster as well, unfortunately. But it's one of the great railway journeys of the UK. Right, there is one other thing I'd like to see. Right, it's somewhere just down here, and then I can start focusing on food. Yeah, it's scary to think that I was here at this very spot 38 years ago because I spotted that road sign. I don't know if it's the same sign, but it's the same surname. The bus stop for John O'Groats. Right, food. Well, I found the beating heart of downtown Thurso. And I found a cafe that does sandwiches and coffee. With a Jamison's panini and a latte demolished, I'm ready to take on Thurso. Right, let's go exploring. I found a road called Beach Road. Now just call me Sherlock, I reckon this might go to a beach. Well, this is definitely a beach. It's not Waikiki, but it's not too bad. It's the best that Thurso has. My Manson ancestors came from this part of Scotland, also the Orkneys and the Shetlands, and I reckon if I looked hard enough I would probably find someone with my surname. But I don't have that much time. I've got a bus to catch. That was quite interesting. Here's the river. I'm keeping one eye on the scenery and one eye on my watch because I don't want to miss this bus at 4:50 p.m. That would be very inconvenient. I'd hate to fail at this late stage. Oh, I can see the finish line just up there, just up there. Wow, it sure is breezy here. Right, the final push. Stagecoach service 280 to John O'Groats. Bus 6 of 6. Hooray! And we made it to John O'Groats. And I can see the sign up ahead. Phew, thank goodness it's there. You know, to be totally honest with you, this is a lot more touristy than I remembered it. I've got a feeling, last time I was here, I think I was heading for the ferry terminal way down there, down the coast, and I was heading to the Orkney Islands. I think I was dropped up away up the road there. I'm going to have to find out where this bus to Wick leaves from tonight, because that's where I'm staying, at Wick. I asked the bus driver whether this is where Aarons of Wick leave from. He says, I don't know. I'll work it out. And here it is. Well, I'm glad to report the distance is the same as what it is at Land's End, 874 miles. And that ends this journey. When I put this itinerary together, I thought it'll be quite easy. It's just 6 buses and coaches. I hadn't realised how difficult it would be, because when you travel by car, especially by coach, and you're going around bends, you don't realise it, but you do tense up. And after a few hours on a bus, you really are quite fatigued. After a couple of days on a bus, you're absolutely wrecked. So I'm looking forward to getting to my hotel in Wick tonight, and I'm going to be sleeping like a log. Anyway guys, thanks very much for coming along with me. I'll see you next time.